Secretary General, Dr. Suet, Dr. Poonam, Dr. Lubroff. I am honoured to be here today. I thank you for the invitation to your first national forum, and I know that I'm going to learn a lot from you, because I have seen over the last few years that in the arena of AMR, Thailand is a leader. And you show your leadership not just what you do in Thailand, but in many other ways. And I want to thank you for hosting the Interagency Coordination meeting, and also for our shared sponsorship between your government and our government on the Calls to Action conferences of AMR. We look forward to going on working closely together. This is the first time I've been to the Prince Mahidol Awards Conference, and it is so wonderfully organised, and on AMR, it couldn't be better. So I am here because I am one of the 3 co-conveners of the Interagency Coordination Group. Where do our mandates for changing the world come from? They come from the Global Action Plan, which Dr. Poonam has explained to us so very beautifully. That was in 2015, at the same time as Dr. Poonam showed us at the UN in New York. We were all negotiating the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, and they went through, signed up to by every member state. And Dr. Poonam showed us how we cannot deliver the SDGs if we don't contain antimicrobial resistance and the resulting drug-resistant infections. We have seen from the work of Lord O'Neill from the UK and the World Bank, as Dr. Poonam showed us, the dreadful cost to our economies if we do not contain this. The deaths and the illness in hospital worries me even more. We really have to get this in control. So, as member states, and Thailand was with us, we went to the UN General Assembly and had a high-level meeting. The declaration from the member states after that set up this Interagency Coordination Group, the IACG. Now, the IACG is set up with 2 co-chairs, Dr. Tedros, the Director General of the WHO, and Amina Mohammed, the Deputy Secretary General. But in order to make sure the work is pushed forwards, 3 co-conveners were appointed. I'm honoured to be one. We have Dr. Martha Lutterodt from Ghana as another, and Professor Yunxi Shen from China as the third. The Secretariat is provided by the tripartite, WHO, FAO, OIE. Now, the IACG is not trying to do anyone else's work. The tripartite has to do its work, and I think Dr. Poonam has shown you her leadership and the regional leadership of the WHO here, and we hope that other regions will become as strong and do as well. FAO and OIE work through regions and countries as well, and increasingly we're seeing, as Dr. Poonam described in this region, much closer working on this subject of AMR, because this is truly a global health crisis. It's not just humans that are getting ill. We have ill animals as well, and probably ill fish. And I know that we also have ill trees and plants, even if we don't normally talk about them in that way. This is a global health crisis that affects every part of our environment and the lives around us. So the role of the IACG is global coordination. We're trying to hold the tripartite, WHO, OIE, and FAO, to account. Nobody likes being held to account. I'm no saint either. It is difficult, but to push, to say you need to do things, you need to support the countries, because it's only when the countries have a national action plan and implement it that we will get change. We're looking from the IACG for where the gaps are that people need to fill. We're looking to see where the help is needed, trying to move this forward, and we will provide a report with recommendations to the Secretary General of the United Nations next year in 2019. And it will be for the tripartite to deliver, and all of us as member states. And we recognise many strengths. The WHO monitoring system, GLASS, first report was launched here yesterday. This is a great start, but we need to persuade more countries to sign up. FAO has its Atlas system. We need everyone to join in with that. Until we know the size of the problem from surveillance, how can we truly combat it? I'm very proud that our government has given us £265 million for the Fleming Fund to help low-income countries develop their laboratories for surveillance and to join in GLASS and to submit the data to the global burden of disease so that we begin to generate the data that shows us what we have to contain, what we have to do. But our Fleming Fund is truly One Health. We are helping the animal sector, the agriculture sector, and as Dr. Poonam has shown, increasingly we all need to work with environmentalists to protect our environment. Every country is at a different stage. We all have things to learn. We cannot be perfect immediately. We probably never will be perfect. But we need to take a stepwise approach from where each country is to improved time after time, year after year. We are in the middle of writing our next 5-year plan, which we will consult on this summer and start in the new year next year. So I'm going to enjoy today learning from you about what you're doing and how you're going about it, because we do have things to learn from you as we all go forward together. But as I encourage you, I also want to recognize your leadership, not just in this region, on the subject. How wonderful to have a Prime Minister who sets up a cabinet committee with the Deputy Prime Minister chairing it, but your leadership on this subject in G77, in ASEAN, and to welcome and thank you again for our partnership in the AMR calls to action. This is very important to the world going forward, and our government thanks you for your partnership in that. So as I finish, let me say, you're doing a great job. Keep going and do even better so we all can aspire to go forward stronger in the way that you're doing it and learning from each other. Thank you so much for inviting me today to PMAC, to Thailand, which is a country I love. Thank you.